Hey there, Tilray traders and investors. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Monday. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend, February 10th. And in this video, we've got some exciting news from Tilray Brands. They're increasing their capacity to meet global demand. They have industry leading capacity. It's really going to hit home here later on as we go through the news about how big this company is, and it's really just scratching the surface. And we'll take a look at the TLRY chart as well. We'll take a look at the technicals, price action, what to expect there in terms of that in the days, weeks, months ahead. But as always, not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Before we get started, you can smash the like, subscribe, take the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future content. And you can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. And I'm going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And full disclosure, I do own Tilray brand stock. It's my largest MJ holding by a country mile. And shout out to this post that to Tilray and this post they made yesterday. This was a fantastic, just kind of brand here that you can see with the Molo 10, but hangs, not hangovers. And this was for the big day. So we watched the game yesterday actually with a bunch of friends. And I knew right from the get-go that the Eagles were more than likely going to win. It was pretty crazy to watch some of the odds as well change. Like it was like a minute or two into the game, and you could start to see all these betting websites really start to favor the Eagles. And yeah, congrats to the Eagles. Unfortunately, they weren't able to three-peat, but I would have loved to see them achieve that feat. But unfortunately, the Eagles were too much to handle. So I had a great time. Was able to enjoy some of these as well. I actually shared them with some of my friends last night, and it was minus 30. And typically these products don't burn that well. So if you've tried any of the Readies, the straight edge, not just the Readies, but any kind of slim straight edge, they don't burn that well in the cold, especially when it's like minus 20, minus 30 here on the western coast of Canada. And it's a very dry cold too. So these were the new products from Tilray. They're called the Readies Blunties, and they are amazing. It's like $10 Canadian or $11 Canadian for 4 of them. And like I said, I shared them with some friends last night and burned extremely well, even at minus 30. It's truly an amazing product. If you haven't tried these, I highly suggest you do. I give them a perfect 10 out of 10. So here was the news that came out today. Tilray Brands enhances global MJ supply chain. So they increase their industry leading capacity to meet global demand, driving growth across Canada and Europe. So they have accelerated their plans. So they announced the completion of phase 1, which accelerated their growth plan for its MJ supply chain, which began with increased planting in late 2024. Phase 2 of the growth plan includes planting the outdoor cultivation site in Cayuga this spring. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Tilray's primary Canadian production facilities include Aphria 1, Aphria Diamond, are now fully planted and positioned to capture the growing demand from Canadian and international MJ markets. Certain sections of Aphria 1 were previously idle during the C-19 pandemic and are now back online. These sites are projected to produce an additional 60 metric tons of MJ annually, increasing Tilray's current MJ cultivation in Canada capacity to 210 metric tons per year and supplying both Canadian and international markets, including Europe, to meet rising global demand. Tilray expects the first sales of Phase 1 harvest to occur late in the second half of our fourth quarter and the Phase 2 harvest to begin in October 2025. Tilray operates 8 state-of-the-art facilities, cultivation, manufacturing facilities across Canada and Europe. In Canada, this includes Aphria 1, Aphria Diamond in Leamington, Ontario, Broken Coast in Nanaimo, BC, Redican in Foss, Ontario, an outdoor site in Cayuga, Ontario, and a Dutch-style greenhouse in Masson, Quebec, which came from Hexo, and that is currently growing cucumbers, but convertible for MJ as needed, so they can ramp up even more additional capacity. In Europe, Tilray Portugal, located in Cantanhede, not sure how to pronounce that either, serves as a research processing, cultivation, and packaging distribution facility primarily for the medical MJ market in Europe. Additionally, Aphria RX in Neumünster, Germany, functions as a cultivation and processing facility supplying the German market. So shout out to all of the German, my German friends that I know we got a ton of people in Germany following my videos and the channel, and let us know if you've seen any Tilray products. I know it was kind of a slow rollout originally, but let me know if you've tried any of the new strains that they have available in your region. If you haven't tried any of the new Redican strains, they are absolutely amazing. The Space Age Cake, can't say enough good things about that. Purple Churro and Animal Runs, all fantastic brands. Sorry, strains. Tilray's global MJ cultivation capacity currently stands at approximately 247 metric tons, with the potential to expand further as demand increases. As global demand for MJ continues to rise, Tilray is strategically positioned to succeed. The company's extensive cultivation capacity is designed to provide a consistent and reliable supply of premium MJ products to over 20 legal MJ markets worldwide. Tilray's commitment of excellence is evident through its GMP certifications, strict quality control processes, sustainable cultivation practices, and innovative product offerings that cater to a diverse consumer base. So Tilray's unprecedented platform supports over 40 brands in over 20 countries, including comprehensive MJ offerings, hemp-based foods, and craft beverages. So this is, like I said, an absolute juggernaut in the making. If you look under the hood here about like what this company is all about, and their global reach, it really is just scratching the surface here. And we're not even talking about the U.S. market yet, which is the biggest economy in the world. So we're going to see tons of opportunity there as well. And if we get rescheduling, even from a medical perspective, that is going to open. Even Tilray CEO of Tilray, Irwin Simon, said that if we do get legalization of medical in the U.S., if Tilray can supply medical products to the U.S. market, he said that's about $100 million opportunity. And if he could sell beverages, MJ-infused beverages in the U.S. right now, not just hemp-derived ones, he said that would be about $1 billion per annum opportunity. So the things are heating up in a big way. And like I said, I know it's unfortunate. Stock price is below $1 here. So we have multiple bear flags. We'll take a look at this in just a moment. But I know it's frustrating when the price is continuing to drop each and every day. And just when you think it couldn't go any lower, it does. But things are moving behind the scenes here. That much is clear. It's taking a little while for the prices to catch up to reality, but that's just the name of the game sometimes, right? MJ is just not popular right now, and that's very evident when you look across the sector. A lot of names in the sector. We had a nice spike on ACB, but look at CGC. It's basically at 19 cents post split, factoring that in, right? So who would have thought CGC would be at 19 cents if you do the reverse split math? It's at $1.98, but it should actually be just under 20 cents, which is pretty hard to fathom, right? Especially when it was at a high of, I think, $56 in 2021. Let's bring up the chart here. So in February of 2021, it hit, $56. So now that high is at 564 because you have to times it by 10. So the whole sector's been absolutely destroyed. And Tilray, if you look at Green Thumb as well, like it's not just about profitability or earnings or anything like that. Like so many people are saying, oh, once Tilray provides 1 or 2 quarters of profitability and some decent earnings, then the stock price will increase. I don't think that is what we need. We need the sector to just be popular again, and it's not. And if you look at Green Thumb, it's down almost 60% since April, and they've got fantastic earnings, right? They're profitable, and they've had multiple consecutive reports strung together that were absolutely phenomenal, industry leading highest margins, and the stock's still down 60%, right? So it doesn't matter about fundamentals, earnings, profitability. If it's in the MJ sector, everything is down roughly 70 to 90% from all-time highs and 52-week highs. So Tilray, it was an hourly bear flag. So if we take a look, if we just get rid of this fib here, you can see if we go from the high to the low of this dump, you can see that this was a perfect hourly bear flag. That confirmed, you just move it out to the 0.382 fib and we hit that target. And then we had another bear flag here as well. So if you go from the high to the low there, and our measured move is saying about 94 cents. And if you've been following this channel for a while now, we had a daily bear flag as well that was targeting about 98 cents. And then we had a descending triangle here. If we zoom out to the monthly, it's a lot easier to see. Reset this chart. You can see that I've been covering this for a while as well. So if you've been following my videos, you've already seen this multiple times. But as you can see, we had this descending triangle with a target of about, let me just get the exact number here, 87 cents. So it looks like we could see, like I said, another leg down. Wouldn't be surprised. Most people are saying, it's going to reverse split, which wouldn't be the end of the world. We know CGC just had a reverse split, a 1 for 10. And I always joke because ACB, people have memories of a goldfish, right? People, it's actually astonishing how quickly people forget things. And if you look at ACB, it's actually had multiple splits. So if we go back to 2020, ACB did a 1 for 12, and then in 2024 it did a 1 for 10. So I always joke, maybe CGC needs to do another reverse split before it recovers, because in ACB's case, Aurora, they did two, a 1 for 12, then a 1 for 10, and stock price has really been soaring lately, and people think it's the next best thing. But like I said, how quickly people forget, right? So I always joke around, maybe CGC needs to do another reverse split and it can finally recover. But yeah, I don't think it's the end of the world if Tilray even doesn't a reverse split, right? All of the major names in Canada have done it, and it's not, again, reverse splits are not good. Like, I'm not downplaying that fact. What I'm saying is it's not the end of the world, and there can be some positives that come with it. And take a look at a name like INSG. This thing did a 1 for 10 reverse split, and then it went from $1 all the way up to $20, over $20. So after it did its reverse split, right after that, like immediately after that, the stock went on an absolute tear. It was up about 1,200%. So again, don't let anybody tell you that reverse splits are, a nail in the coffin, so to speak, right? It's not good. It's overall a net negative for sure. I'm not downplaying that, but it's not the end of the world. Doesn't mean a company can't recover. And I don't think it's the most likely scenario, but it is a definite possibility. I'm certain of that. But yeah, I would put it at maybe like a 30-40% chance that they do a reverse split, and maybe a 60-70% that they don't. We take a look at the weekly time frame here. Nothing really to see. Still very bearish here on the MACD and the stochastic, well below our 10-week moving average, below all of our weekly moving averages, and below all of our daily moving averages. We could see a golden cross over the next few weeks, but still quite a ways away before we see that 50 and 200-day moving average cross on the daily time frame. So I would say at least a few weeks out before we see a golden cross and any momentum shifting there. And then again, if we zoom out to the monthly time frame, we need to be confident. To be confident in this sector reversing, ending the bear market and starting a new multi-year bull market, we need monthly uptrends, right? Not just on Tilray, but across the sector. All Canadian names, producers in the US as well, retailers in both Canada and the US, and ETFs. If we can see all 80 to 90% of MJ stocks in monthly uptrends, then we'll be confident that the bottom is in. The last time we had names confirm monthly uptrends, which right now High Tide and Cannara Biotech I think are the only ones in monthly uptrends. You can't just have one or two outliers, right? You need the whole sector, at least a solid majority of around 70 to 90% of names in monthly uptrends before we can be confident. And right now, we're in monthly downtrends here on a lot of names, and that includes Tilray with a lower high, lower low here, as you can see. So in order to confirm a monthly uptrend, we still have to bounce, form a high, and then a higher low and a higher high. So in order to bounce, form a high, in order to bounce and set that high and then form a higher low, followed by a higher high, you need at least 3 or 4 candles in a row for that to happen, right? So you need at least 3 months to get that done, because you'd have to form a high and get your higher low on the next candle, and then a higher high. So it's going to be at least 3 or 4 months, best case scenario, before we could confirm a monthly uptrend on Tilray. And like I said, we could potentially see 87 cents as the next target, another potential leg down. Again, don't hate me. I'm just the messenger, and I wish I could come on and say it was bull flags after bull flag after bull flag, but that's just not the case. We have bearish continuation patterns, so we need to expect more of the same, like I said, until we see the whole sector start to really turn it around and show monthly uptrends, right? We're just, again, big tech, crypto, AI stealing the show, and there's just absolutely no interest in this sector at all. The good news is, though, once big tech, crypto, and AI does top out, which I think is very, very soon, I think it's going to be coming within months, that blow off top will more than likely signal rotation into other sectors. And what better sector than the MJ sector that's been in a brutal almost 5-year bear market, while the rest of big tech, crypto, AI has been in an almost 5-year bull market. So great news from Tilray. It really goes to show, how extensive their global footprint really is, and, increasing their demand. They can increase demand even further if they need to. And they got, huge amount of cash. Decent balance sheet. They continue to pay down debt. There was a little bit of dilution. They settled a lawsuit from the Afria days, and originally the plaintiff was seeking like $875 million. They settled for $30 million with prejudice, meaning that you can't sue again for the same thing. So things are pointing in the right direction. We just have to be like I said, a little bit more patient, unfortunately. And I know people get rattled by the dilution, but you have to remember that if a company's not profitable, and it's going to be some time before they expect profitability to be reached, dilution is always a possibility, right? And I wouldn't even rule out another round of dilution in terms of Tilray. There's other names in this space too that could very well see another round of dilution, maybe even a few rounds of dilutions before they turn profit, right? So it is what it is. We just have to call a spade, and like I said, we're early. The thesis hasn't changed. We know that MJ behind the scenes is really gaining momentum, from a regulatory perspective globally, and it's just going to take a little bit longer for prices to catch up. Unfortunately, there's a huge disconnect, and again, we're just not seeing any attention to this sector, but that will soon change. All right, let me know what you think of this news in the comment section below. We'll continue the conversation there. It's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll catch you on the next one.